Does anyone remember when science fiction used to be optimistic and uplifting about our future? Stuff like the Jetsons, Star Trek, E.T., Sunshine, Wall-E, and so many more used to show us that the future will have problems, yes, but humanity can overcome them and begin to fix what we broke. But now it seems that the overriding theme of science fiction is
We're doomed.
Earth's doomed, humanity killed it, and now the elite will flee and leave the rest of us behind to starve, die, or descend into Mad Max. Case in point, Breach/Anti-Life, starring the man who used to be Bruce Willis, star of Die Hard, Sixth Sense, Pulp Fiction, Armageddon, but now a star fallen so far he's in danger of turning into a black hole. Do you owe someone money, Bruce? Is that why you keep going when everyone else would have stopped, or do you simply not know what to do with yourself if you're not on set? Seriously, this guy's recent filmography makes Nicolas Cage look restrained.
We win, Tracy! Press it!
Anyway, today's film, is Breach/Anti-Life. It was originally called Anti-Life, it was changed in post-production to Breach, so I'm just going to call it Terrible, which is basically an Alien knockoff with a bit of Resident Evil thrown in. It's your bog-standard sci-fi setup. Earth is doomed from either pollution or overpopulation or a mysterious, unexplained plague, so we've found a nice, shiny new Earth to destroy, and 50 million people have somehow been selected to travel there and leave everyone else to die. We follow one ship with 300,000 people in cryo being looked after for the trip by a bunch of, if they're lucky, one-dimensional red shirts, one of which is played by Bruce Willis, but despite what you may think, he's not the lead. That character is played by some guy whose mummy is probably very proud that he's in an actual film and she watched a copy of this film that she's brought to be supportive any day now. Now, there are some things about Terrible that are interesting, it's just that the film doesn't explore or develop them in any way, shape or form. For example, we discover that there's a rebellion who think that humanity has destroyed its own planet and as such should die there instead of infesting somewhere else.
Stop! If you destroy this ship, you destroy Krypton! Krypton had its chance!
And that's it. Game over. And there's your film, right there. An Agatha Christie-style murder mystery set in space where our crew try to find out who's killing all of the hundreds of thousands of defenseless people in cryo as the tension is turned up, the confines of the spaceship's hull providing nowhere to run as the killer strikes and strikes and strikes in an nihilistic bid to ensure that the plague of humanity is stopped at all costs. Instead, we get a parasite the Resident Evil film would have passed on. Apparently some of these resistance bozos just happened to find out how it worked and got it aboard the ship somehow and then trusted that it would do its thing instead of smuggling aboard a bomb to go off at some point during the voyage. Nope. Instead of interesting baits or, well, actually anything interesting, we instead get a parasite that wears people like a cheap suit, which again could be interesting if the idea of the thing in space sounds interesting to you. Sadly though, it didn't sound interesting to our scriptwriters, so instead our evil space parasite turns people into zombies who can leap like Spider-Man and are immune to bullets, except when they aren't. Way better than the thing in space, I think you'll agree. Our human characters, for want of a better description, seem to spend 1/3 of their time making/drinking moonshine, 1/3 stoned, and the other cleaning the toilets. I didn't care for any of them or find anything distinctive about them. Will this character get something approaching a sympathetic backstory via the form of an exposition dump out of nowhere, and our lead guy's sole character trait is that his pregnant wife is in cryo and he's technically a stowaway. Again, this could have been an interesting twist. Stowaways are killed on the spot as he tries to hide his secret whilst trying to help find the killer, but it comes to nothing, and it could have been safely removed without affecting a thing. The film's 90-minute runtime drags. The ship can't decide if it wants to look like awful CGI or someone's childhood toy being held against a black background by a mostly covered glove. The plot's completely predictable and without tension. What pitiful budget this film has looks way too low. The ending gets telegraphed about 15 minutes in unless you've never seen a film before, and there are plot holes I could drive a tank through. On the plus side, almost no film is completely negative. I have to give it up to Thomas Jane, thankfully rid of that crime against hair he was sporting in The Expanse, in a role just long enough to not be a cameo, but nowhere near enough to be third billing on the poster, for someone who knows exactly what type of film he's in and is determined to have a blast whilst leaving no scenery standing, but alas, he's on screen for roughly 4 minutes, since no one can seem to remember that these things are immune to bullets when none of the main cast are on screen. Also, they like to kill you off screen in a bid to save on the Ribena, which is standing in for the fake blood. Hey, a film this cheap has to save money wherever it can, right? Look, if you need a better film about an alien parasite taking out the ship's crew one at a time whilst wearing the skin of a crew member, then you know what you should watch. 1998's Lost in Space. Go! It's all good. Also, did I mention that the ending is completely predictable and unnecessary? Right, look, I'm 99.9% sure I've spent more time reviewing this disaster than the guy did writing it. Bruce, call it a day before you completely sully your legacy. Everyone else, I'm off for a well-earned brew. I'll see you next time. So this is a bomb. Do not see this film under any circumstances, but what do you guys think? And what is your favourite trapped in space with a monster flick? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.